Hello everyone, we are Group 8 and today we present our analysis on foundation of data science. Our project is about best versus red, the forage files. I'm Trịnh Hiếu Trần and other members are Krishna Sapkota, Sasang Thapa and Sadan Maga. We will cover 8 main sections: background, objective, hypothesis, understanding the dataset, data cleaning, preparation, descriptive analysis, inferential analysis, result findings and conclusion. And in the why, best and rest compete for the same food resources. Zoologists study for the foraging behavior of Egyptian fruit bats in the presence of black rats. After 7 months of observations, they created 2 datasets to understand this interaction and our objective to answer the questions: do bats perceive rats as potential predators or just as a competitors for food? To answer these questions, we have null hypothesis and alternative hypothesis. Our null hypothesis states that bats do not perceive rats as predator, meaning we would see no significance in bats' behavior when rats are present. Our alternative hypothesis is do bats perceive rats as predators, leading to higher avoidance of bats and lower rewards when rats are present. And first, we need to understand the dataset. A dataset warns about the behavior of bats during they land on the food platform when rats are present. The key variables we focus on are bat landing to food, which measure the second before a bat approach a food after bat landing. It's so longer delays will indicate higher avoidance. Second, we have second after rat arrival, which measure how quickly bats respond to bats present. And longer waits suggest avoidance risks. We also have risks and rewards, which indicates the set in getting food or not. And dataset 2 is about overall rest present and bad landing counting during 30 minutes of observation. It helps to see where the rest activity affects best activity. We also have best landing number, rest minutes, and rest arrival number as the key variables. It will show that if best perceive rest as predator, we expect high rest minutes to result in low bad landing number, and low rest minutes so result in high bad landing number. And now Krishna will show you how to do the data cleaning step.
In the first step, we cleaned and prepared the data set. Here you can see date conversion, which is like we standardize column names by removing spaces and converting them to lowercase. Key datetime columns like start time and rat period start were converted to a standard datetime format to allow accurate calculation. And normalized behavior metrics means behavioral metrics such as bad landing to four were normalized to second for consistency. And handle missing value means we are handled, for example, missing habit entries were filled with unknown and second after rat arrival was computed from available datetime columns. Finally, categorical columns were standardized by trimming spaces and formatting text. This ensured the data is consistent, clean, and ready for analysis. Next. Next, we created new features to make the dataset more informative for analysis. First, we extracted the month and season from the start time column, which help us identify seasonal patterns in the bat and behavior. And another thing we done is like we created a before sunset boolean columns before our sunset, after sunset, which classifies whether the event occurred before or after sunset. These engineer features allow us to perform more meaningful analysis and visualization, such as studying trends over time or comparing activity before and after sunset. Now Sasank will take over the descriptive analysis part.
So, to better understand how Egyptian fruit rat behave in the presence of black rat, we did a descriptive analysis from these 2 datasets gathered over from a 7-month period, which were cleaned by my friend Krishna. The first dataset examines what happens when a bat lands on feeding platform, whereas the second dataset summarizes 30-minute monitoring intervals to capture general colony activity. So findings from the data set 1, we can clearly see on the figure 1 histogram of bat landing to food time that most bat moves to food within 5 seconds of landing, but some delayed for much longer, showing hesitation. And from figure 2, when rats were already present, bats often delayed approaching food, some waited several minutes before feeding next. So from the so the correlation between them are like strong relationship were observed between rat presence, feeding latency, and reducing forgetting success. Next. So the findings from dataset 2 of colony level behavior, scatter plot of bad landing versus rat minutes is there. So like from the figure we can clearly know that the scatter plot shows a clear negative trend. The more time rats spend on the platform, the fewer bats landed. Next. So the food availability, bats actively picked when food was plentiful but dropped sharply under scarcity, suggesting the risks of competing the rats were less acceptable when rewards were low. So in summary, our finding indicate that bats are visibly cautious when rats are present. Individually, the delay or avoiding feeding, but at the colony level, total bats activity decreases as a rat presence increases, especially when food is short. And this shows the rat are seen as more possible predator by bats rather than just rivals. All of these findings have been obtained by descriptive analysis carried out in Python with pandas for data handling. So the next part, inferential analysis, will be done by Southern.
So in our inferential analysis, we have done comparison of bad lending when rares are present versus absent. First, we check the distribution using the Shapiro-Wilk test. Since the data was not normally distributed, we applied the main Whitney test. The result was significant, showing that the rat presence has strong negative impact on bad lending. Next one, please. So, as a part of our inferential analysis, we also perform a correlation analysis. So, in correlation analysis, we have measured in rat activity measured in minutes and bad landings. We use both Pearson correlation for linear relationship and Spearman relationship for the monotonic trends. The results showed weak but significant negative correlation, which suggests that higher rat activity is associated with fewer bad landings. So in next part, next one please. Uh, in next part, in inferential analysis, we also carried out multiple linear regressions. So here we have predicted bad landing using rat activity and environmental factor such as food availability and hours after sunset. From the model, rat activity and hours sunset have a significant predictor, where rat arrival number and food availability were not. This indicates that rat activity and environmental timing are the key factor influencing bat landing frequency. So in next part, we'll talk about the result and finding.
Okay, so we observe that bats often delay approaching in the food platform. This shows a higher avoidance of bats, and bats that take risks are more likely to get the rewards, and bats land less often when rats are present. And the time and night affects their bat behavior. And finally, we also see that the test regression analysis also confirmed that both bat behavior and environment factors have significant effect the bat foraging. And in conclusion, we see that we answer the questions, and it's yes, the bats perceive rats as predator, and however, but risk-taking bats so competitive rather than fearful behavior, which suggests a complex predator-competitor relationship. And thank you for your attending and hearing us today. See you. Okay, I don't know.